And in the first inquiry, where nearly 15 witnesses were produced by the university, all of them went against the university administration and nobody deposed against me. Rather, their deposition becomes a sort of testimonial to me. But university totally ignored it, and then they instituted second inquiry after abruptly cancelling the first inquiry. In the second inquiry, the only witness was the registrar of the university. Registrar is considered as custodian of the university because all the documents are always in possession of the registrar. She was reluctant to produce any of the documents which were asked during the inquiry, or rather threatened that you do not know women's power. Her name was Kamalini Bhansali. She is yet alive. But in the second inquiry also, the facts which have come on record sufficient to prove that whatever charges I have made in my letters against the university have been totally proved, and they did not find any charge, or they could not prove any charge against me. Although they tried to level charges of character and work, but she herself denied that there is no proof. Even then, they took the decision of dismissal on the basis of the inquiry officer's report. The institution of inquiry officers is also a farce. This must be stopped because they are the purchasable commodity. Then I wrote to the Chancellor, because there was a provision under the University Act to constitute arbitration. Arbitration was constituted. There also the university managed. They appointed Mr. R.M. Kantawala, ex-Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, as their arbitrator. And Justice D.G. Palekar from Supreme Court, retired judge of Supreme Court. In the very first hearing, D.G. Palekar asked me whether you have engaged any advocate. I said, no, sir. These are the vacations and no advocate is available. Then he adjourned it and asked me to engage some advocate. Thereafter, the registrar of the university asked him, sir, where you wanted to go, our driver is ready to drop you anywhere you like. But Justice Palekar said, no, thank you. I will go to my relations, but I will hire a cab and go. I thought that umpire is a very straightforward person, but it was not so. During the course of time, I engaged one senior counsel who is known as Justice Suresh. After 2 hearings, he asked the umpire to relieve me for 5 minutes as he wanted to talk to me. We came out of the committee room and he said, Doctor, there is no propriety in arguing before them. They have already decided against you. And he did not continue. Thereafter, my 2 colleagues, Professor Wagh and Professor Sadashivan, they represented me in the arbitration proceedings. R.M. Kantawala and Justice and umpire, they gave me assurance that your evidence will be recorded and you will be given the copies of the confidential reports which you have asked for. But at the end, they refused to give, and the order was passed against me. I had to file arbitration petition in Bombay High Court, which was also bent against me. Then I went in appeal in the same court. Justice Bharucha was heading the bench along with Justice Saldana, and my counsel was Rafiq Dada along with my advocate Radhakrishnan. That decision also went against me. When we came out of the court, Rafiq Dada said, "King can do no wrong." I said, "Dada, I couldn't get you." He said, "Very simple. Justice Bharucha cannot dare to go against his king, that is R.M. Kantawala. Because during the tenure of R.M. Kantawala, Justice Bharucha was appointed as a judge of the High Court. Thereafter, I had to go to the Supreme Court. In Supreme Court, Justice Kuldeep Singh and Justice Sawant and Justice Kasriwal. My matter was placed before them. Justice Kuldeep Singh was heading the bench. He asked me whether, "Doctor, you have engaged any advocate?" I said, "Sir, no, I am not in a position to engage any advocate." He said, "Okay, we will provide you from legal cell." I was given an advocate from legal cell, that is K.K. Venugopal, who was senior counsel in the Supreme Court and very competent advocate. But Justice Kuldeep Singh did not hear him, and within a minute he disposed of the matter, upholding the judgment of the Bombay High Court. The matter ended there. But thereafter, I was very much disturbed what to do after Supreme Court's judgment. I saw some articles of Justice Katju, who himself criticized the corrupt judges of his court when he was Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court. And he wanted to take action against them if Chief Justice of India permits. But Chief Justice of India did not allow him to take any action. This encouraged me, and thereafter I started collecting my all old papers of the case, and then I prepared my petition and gave to 14 persons, including President of India, Prime Minister of India, Ravi Shankar Prasad Singh, Chief Minister of Delhi, King Kejriwal, and 4 media channels also, and so many other dignitaries. But I got acknowledgement from President of India, who has directed Chief Secretary of Government of Maharashtra to initiate appropriate action, and I should be informed accordingly. But no action was initiated so far. Prime Minister's PA, Mr. Shankaran, had a talk with me on phone nearly 15 minutes, and after reading my petition and talking to me, he said that it relates to the Human Rights Department, so we are forwarding it for appropriate action to that department. But thereafter I did not listen anything. Mr. Kejriwal also gave a letter. He said we need such persons in our country, and he said that you should approach the CID, but no purpose was served. Problem could not be solved. Thereafter I decided to make this provision of dharna. I sought the permission of the Police Commissioner Delhi, who allowed me to sit for one day, and this is I am doing here.